That could work for her.
So she works for a family company. They own Urban Outfitters and like 2 or 3 other little companies. So she are we recording that?
Wow.
Another time.
So what are you doing?
We're not recording yet, right?
No, it's not
Okay,
recording,
good.
but
It's being live streamed.
Oh,
it shouldn't be.
Is it? Oh, yes, that was awesome. You made a big fish pond in Old Mystic.
But it's not.
I don't want it, I want it not to be a fish pond this time.
Yeah, so not people.
I haven't gotten that past back. I want to fish.
Good.
There's fish on the outside.
I never thought of it.
There's a whole design, that make the steps out of it. The steps right now, and that's your filter it all in the step. Just do it, come on, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we searched that for a while. If I'm gonna have to filter it.
My wife and I did it all. I dug it last year, got the permission to dug it, and then extend the whole window. And then we did it all summer.
Hmm.
Every single day, it was the most miserable thing to go right to the.
Right, the machine, she showed up from next door and just, give me that shovel. 2 minutes, yeah, it's done.
You didn't want to rent somebody with a,
I own the backhoe. So I did it all myself.
oh,
I
okay.
have all the machinery.
Oh, so it's not like they had to use a shovel.
No, it was just so tedious though.
Yeah, okay.
Some of the stones are like 1,500 pounds.
Oh, my God, yes, this place, Wallentown loaded with.
Standing
big
under them
stones.
while my wife is using the backhoe.
Yeah.
Hopefully I piss her off lately.
It was a great dinner we had.
Yeah.
that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hang on, you. Keep expecting to be.
Yeah, yep, whenever you're ready. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah. Sooner the better.
All right, I would like to call to order at 7 o'clock. The regular scheduled meeting for the Town of Allentown Planning and Zoning Commission, November 9th at 7. Members present, Scott Davidson, David Neiman, Joe Zanfoli, and Patricia Ray, regular members, alternate Juliet Hodge. Juliet will see you this evening. So approval of minutes.
You want me to ask? Sue,
Well,
does a notice of decision go out for that subdivision and application that we did last time?
it did.
Did it have the conditions written out?
No, did not.
Then we need to amend these minutes to reflect those, you know, what I actually said that day. Otherwise, there's no record of what the conditions are.
Okay. Other than the recording.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's gotta be in writing somewhere, because that's what's on file with the clerks, not the recording forever and ever. You might have to listen to the recording to see what I
Again.
exactly, I didn't have it in Word version and I had a miserable week, so. If you send me it in Word, I can do it, but I wasn't sure if you had sent out a notice of decision, I wouldn't have said anything, because it doesn't matter. I mean, basically, it would have. I could just show you what I have written down here, but
I got it. I got it.
you got.
I'll put the information.
Okay.
Move on. Keep on.
all right, so someone want to table that then?
No, you can just make a motion to include it.
I wasn't here.
With the correction.
Oh, that's right, you weren't here.
So I'll make a motion to accept the October minutes with the
Correction.
corrections.
Or, okay,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, none, motion carries. Anything new for the agenda? No, okay, good. Citizens' comments, there's no citizens here, let's move along on that. New business, none. Full business, zoning regulation update discussion. So everybody should have got a packet from Juliet, from John, but from Sue.
So what's been updated from the last time you saw this was we basically went through sections 11 through the end, through 16. And just reviewed for consistency, for, any legal changes, phrasing corrections, in particular in the signs section. Eliminated section 11.1.2, because that dealt specifically with signs that were basically prohibited by the Gilbert Supreme Court decision about content neutral signage. And so I basically tried to adjust these signs to be content neutral, but like in the example being 11.2.2, where it said signs not exceeding, and actually I can share my screen if that's easier. Like 11.2.2, for instance, right here, where it says, and this should be least, not last, set back at least 10 feet from any property line, where it said advertising a home business. We again, because it's content neutral, you need to regulate basically, sign type, illumination, location, size, and that sort of thing, and not content. So I changed it to associated with an approved home business. So in theory, they don't have to advertise the home business there. They could, put whatever they wanted on a sign. It could be political, it could be a joke, it could be a smiley face. We don't regulate content, but but if you have a home business, then you get a sign, in other words. So just sort of drawing a little bit of line there that the Supreme Court dealt with. And then also getting rid of some of the nonconformity language that I think is not consistent with case law about abandonment, or like time limits for abandonment of nonconformities, which case law has stated does not have a specific time clock on it. And then basically just updated the statutory references to zoning board of appeals stuff. But there wasn't that much to address here, but I think we're caught up to date on that. Clean up. Go ahead.
You're missing a page. Can you scroll down after 13 or 11.3.6 where it comes down?
11.3.6. I guess just 11.4, and then it goes to section 12.
We're missing 12, yeah.
You don't have it on screen? No.
We are missing 12.
Oh,
Did you do 12 after you gave it to me, John?
no. Do you guys have any is 11.4 the last thing you have?
Yes.
No.
And so you don't have sections. Do you have section 13, 14?
Mine goes from 11.3.6 to
13.
13.1.3.
Yes.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah.
11.3.
Is it offline?
That's weird.
Maybe it's
So- Because this is this document that I just opened was the document from Sue's calendar.
It's all right. I don't need a copy. We can look at his screen.
So this is 12. Can you see 12 here?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I just was curious.
So what I eliminated in 12.1, there was a phrase in there that provided is not enlarged, abandoned for more than 12 consecutive months, or changed to a non-conforming use. That 12 consecutive month thing is not a valid abandonment standard per Connecticut court case law.
Well, come on, we keep it in anyway.
Well, you could, but if you get sued, you're going to lose. I mean, you could. I'm just trying to keep you up to date. And then destroyed beyond 50% of fair market value, people are allowed to rebuild. And then I added about the extended or expanded in 12.1.1 via applicable permit process, again, depending on if it's an as of right use or a special exception use. Added clarified the accessory building standard, that we're talking about something new rather than something that was already there. Um, and then got rid of the
Can you scroll up again? What-
yeah.
A new accessory building may be located on a non-conforming lot.
so that previously said,
Yeah, okay.
it previously said, an accessory building may be located on a non-conforming lot. So I just wanted to make that clear that we're talking about something new. And then got rid of in here, oh, the bit about a person who has in good faith acquired ownership of a lot. That the statement about requiring a statement stating that they have such status seemed sort of unnecessary and a little bit odd to me, frankly,
Right.
about sort of the manner in which the property was acquired. And then in section 13, I just made reference to section 8-7, which is the zoning board of appeals procedures. And then added just consistency, we refer to in some places Connecticut general statutes, in some places general statutes. So I just wanted consistency there on section 14. And then 15 and 16 were fine.
Opposite 73.
Yeah, so
Like 10 years after all the surrounding towns.
yeah, it was pretty late. I mean, not as late as Eastburg,
So,
but
no, it doesn't have any, right?
right.
Yeah.
And they're the only town in Connecticut?
I think Bethany might still not. But yeah, Eastburg is still the only one around here. So those are those changes, and so then what we're left with is sort of the big procedural stuff between sections 7 and 9. That we will have to, I think we'll have to want to have a, I think maybe Juliet and I at some point will sort of maybe do a joint sort of discussion presentation about how this might be, how we might want to structure this.
And are you considering development standards or no? Just what's there?
Well, I think that's a question for the commission, I think I'd go either way on it. I just think we need a cleaner procedure. And yeah, I mean, development centers in terms of what, like, in terms of I don't
Parking,
know.
access, driveways.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
Well, for some standards to latch onto to approve, I think this town does only special permit, not site plan review,
That is right.
so you need to clearly fight the standards somewhere.
Right. Right. And yeah, parking and all those things are only in the special exception section. So I think, yeah, we'd want probably,
I guess that's okay if they only have special exceptions, but that whole section.
no, but I mean, as a right uses, like particularly in the village or for, should have some of those standards.
Usually.
So I'm happy to answer questions about that.
If you have some of the standards, that's what I was saying. Some of the standards are just mixed into the
special
that
exception
use
stuff.
chapter. Or
Yeah.
that could just be pulled out and
Mhm.
organized in a supplemental reg chapter or somewhere.
Yeah, I think maybe what we can do is propose maybe next time a sort of an outline for restructuring, not without populating the whole reg, but maybe an outline for how we would restructure those sections.
Mostly you, really.
Yeah, it's because you have it, you know how if you go to that chart format,
Yeah.
you have a lot of language in there that wouldn't fit in a chart, so I was just thinking that you could either move it to a supplemental reg section that applies to everywhere, or if you want to I mean, that's the easiest way to do it, or do like general standards and supplemental, or just combine it all into one chapter 8, but it just has to be organized a little bit better, so it's by topic, not by zone. If you know what I mean. Like some of you have repeating standards for different uses, but in theory, it could be one standard that applies for all non-residential uses. Rather than having to repeat it every time. They're just scattered. They're there, but they're scattered. I was just saying, pull them out wherever you see them and stick them into a new chapter 8. Organized differently. Then you're not changing your regs, you're just moving them around.
So I'll what I propose again is I can give you guys maybe Juliet, if you'd be willing to go back and forth a little bit about this, maybe sort of an outline of what that section could look like, and then we can populate it with actual regulations.
Fine with me. Like you have like bed and breakfast, you've got a whole bunch there. Salt Street.
And yeah, and brew pub was there, and some of the gravel excavation, and
Go into a supplemental reg section under alphabetically, so you can find them. Same language. I mean, I think you're gonna end up with like the general regs for things like change of use or non-conformity, that don't belong in supplemental regs necessarily. Erosion and sediment control. You've got a combination of supplemental regs, site development standards, and general regs scattered throughout the document. It was a little bit hard to. It's hard to track changes to. I think
yeah, there's be a lot of
That's a good idea,
like,
then.
it's a lot of relocation of stuff, and it's hard to sort of it's hard to.
Not change, just relocation.
So you and Julia are gonna work on it together.
That's- If you're willing, Julia.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and then next month, okay to bring that back, or do you think you need 2 months for that?
So I would say next month, let's
The outline.
do the outline. So it's clear that, because I think a lot of what we're trying to explain is hard to envision. And so I want to show you sort of what the structure would look like, and then we can plug everything in.
That sounds fine.
Okay.
Is everybody okay with the rest of the changes that were made?
I have a question. Why can't we put in a profanity law on the signs?
That's a First Amendment thing.
Yeah,
I know there's no way though that the town can add that. I'm just checking.
If you want to, well, you're going to get sued under First Amendment, number one. But if you want to empower your zoning official to determine what is profanity and what is not,
Then why can't we do that?
you'll get sued.
Yeah.
You can't go against the Constitution. The states can't, the towns can't, nobody can. You just waste the town's money. You're gonna get sued if somebody insists on putting it up. You cannot regulate content.
if a sign becomes a public safety hazard, that's different. But if it's just speech, and if it's just a word you don't like,
Yeah,
Like that guy that painted the finger on the side of his house for his neighbor.
I thought that was wrong.
Sorry, that was one. That was even covered under free speech
I know.
or expression.
It's not my
I guess
question, somebody else.
Good when the guy cleans the house.
Black.
Yeah, black, yeah.
I worked on that.
I used to work.
I was kind of a jerk.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you gotta be a jerk for some of those signs, but some of them are fun.
I probably shouldn't have said that.
I was just thinking that.
Let me look at it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're good with the zoning reg stuff.
Oh, I have one question that I want answered. How much is 45 decibels? Anybody got an example?
Lawnmower.
Like a Harley going down the street, is that 45 decibels or a big truck going down?
Trucks are.
I'm just. Anybody has,
40,
huh?
Isn't a leaf blower like 45?
uh,
It's more than that.
no, 45 to 50 decibels is moderate rainfall.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Moderate rainfall?
That's pretty loud.
That's,
Yeah,
But and on the surface it's hitting.
yeah.
yeah.
That's what I mean,
Versus-
there's a lot of variables in that. And what surfaces.
Loud.
it's
I
out.
mean, yeah, over what
But-
duration, over what time, over what distance. So this is, here's some, can you see that?
Yeah.
So
I'm just curious.
ambient noise is, is between, 30 and 40 decibels.
Wow, library's 40,
Yeah.
a quiet library.
Yeah.
45 is cut off for a lot of
Yeah.
things. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's why I was
Why do they keep
asking.
telling us to be quiet in the library?
That's,
What's the,
that's why I asked.
Normal conversations, that's what I was thinking of outside, like, because it's come up with short-term rental issues.
Mhm.
What becomes
Yeah.
a normal conversation versus whatever. Where's the leaf blower on there? Lawnmower,
It's probably lawnmower, power tool in 90 decibel.
hair dryer is 90.
Holy moly.
Because I think that's, because it's right there.
Yeah, I need to be more.
Oh, in
quiet.
your ear is that? Okay. Car horns, right?
And yeah, I mean, a lot of these things have, there's a distance component to it.
Wow.
Oh, ambulances. Oops, sorry.
why do we want to raise that number?
No, I was just curious. I had, 45 didn't seem like very much to me, and that's why I was wondering.
That's
That's
the
all.
state's limit, they get the ticket over that.
Wow, a blow dry.
All right,
I'm noisy.
let's move along to recreational cannabis regulation
Oh, boy.
that John sent us. This,
I borrowed yours to show Ledger, by the way. But I didn't have first.
What's that?
I had to borrow yours in North Stonington.
Oh. Should borrow this one?
Yeah, I sent it as an example.
So, so this, the throat clearing stuff is just sort of a summary of why we're doing this. And the expiration. And again, yeah, we drew this from several towns that we've been working with. And, to basically summarize, what we've proposed again is that both cannabis retail, recreational cannabis retail, and cannabis micro cultivators, which would be a small growing facility, would both be allowed under special exception in certain circumstances and with some separation distances. There's a long section in there, section 16.2 does all the definitions. 16.3 and 4 is really the meat of it, and I have that up on the screen. 16.3 would for cannabis retailers and a hybrid retailer is basically recreational and medicinal. That's the hybrid. So what we suggested there is a 500-foot separation distance from any other cannabis retailer, so you don't create sort of a cluster. Daycare, church, public playground, schools. And I put in here, I threw in a map, did a 500-foot radius around the school.
yeah.
And I don't know if there are daycares or anything in this immediate area. We'd have to check.
she gets the one copy that has.
I came in, she was having trouble. She was having
It's not
trouble with her.
the second
with
side of it.
the-
You do.
Side of it.
Have a second one there?
He must have had a master and then it didn't double side.
They all went through together, yeah, so I don't know why I didn't do the second page on it, because they all would have had second pages on it.
Yes, I go,
Yeah, we're just.
She had multiple times just putting
It's
mine
not
out
page.
that program, so. Not her fault.
No,
Go ahead.
hang on, no, you sure? Because
2.4.
16.3, but this is 2.4 over here, isn't it?
No, that's 4.
Oh, it's 4.
Or
16.4, yeah, I'm missing a page.
All right, go on.
So, okay, so that would eliminate, so the 500 foot from the school eliminates these parcels that are sort of in pink. It's actually a relatively small amount of the village area, but it would eliminate all of Church Street. But you know, the portion out by Town Pizza and that sort of thing would still be available, as well as the sort of the outlying commercial overlay out near where 49 picks up.
Open space that are state owned or something.
Yeah, it's
There's nothing going there.
No, but I mean, but anyway, just in terms of zoning. So it would exclude the core area, but allow some in the outlying area. And again, that would be for cannabis retail, so a retail facility. The additional requirements on that would be hours of operation, no on-site consumption, signage, that the state does have separate signage regulations for cannabis. And then some additional requirements for the special exception applications that would include a security plan, odor monitoring, mitigation, you know, parking, access, circulation, and things like that. So, you know, it would be, you would have, you know, a substantial degree of special exception control to make sure that this would not be a nuisance.
And in that area that you said it was allowed, how many 5-acre parcels are there?
Well, so that's the 5 acres is for micro cultivators.
I know.
so that's not allowed in the village district
Oh, where is that allowed? Anywhere?
anywhere else.
Anywhere.
Oh, okay.
That would be a disaster over there. There's so many traffic accidents on that stretch.
Well, no, so hold on, can I take this?
And micro cultivators again would be, so those would be small grow facilities. They would be small, relatively small in scale. They would be I thought that we had a square footage thing. Maybe we didn't. So 5 acres. There was a separation distance between any residential. Again, properly licensed, no on-site consumption, and then the same things: security, odor monitoring, parking, circulation, that sort of thing.
So John.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you read 8:16.3.
Yes.
The way I read this, one. That's, yeah, it's the one that we don't have, but
Yeah.
where we're talking 500 feet. It says of any daycare facility, church and public playground or public or private school. Okay, so is what you have on that map is just from the school.
That's just the school. Yeah, I didn't do other things. I just wanted, but
Yeah,
I wanted to give you an example of what that would be. We would have to do a similar mapping, you know, of the other daycare facilities. I'm not aware of any other school in there.
What about the church?
Yeah,
near
there's
the-
2 churches, there's 3 churches in there, right?
Yes.
3 churches in there, and so I mean, that
Yeah.
radius really needs to be a lot bigger than what it is.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just a straight example of what that looked like. But yeah.
Which I think would basically take out the whole
Yeah, the whole.
village district.
What's over here? And by Town Pizza. Is there just a cemetery across the street or not?
There used-
Church?
49
At the
and.
No, there's nothing down there,
No,
But there's a
but
lot of
the Catholic
accidents
church
there.
would be,
Catholic Church, Baptist Church.
Mhm.
yep,
They're all,
and then
Right
the other
here.
church is way out,
Yeah,
Yeah,
out of the village district.
yeah.
and is this like home
However-
daycare or like commercial daycare?
And
You know,
there is
not
no.
here.
we could you know,
But-
clarify that.
Right, but home
Okay,
daycare
I
could be
would
kids.
still include home daycare.
Licensed home daycares, I
Yeah.
mean, but they could pop up at any time after,
Right.
Right,
but you know, wouldn't kick out the cannabis. but-
no, he's already there.
So we would want it to let me get a comment in here. So how do we feel? Do we want to say including home daycare?
Licensed.
Yeah,
licensed home daycare.
or registered home daycare.
No, they all have to be?
Yeah. Um, I would add some language in there about licensed at, it in existence at the time of the application, because obviously, if someone moves in later, you can't force the cannabis place to leave.
By the time you're drawing your circles,
And then, so why,
Yeah.
the question that I would have is, why don't we allow retail outside of the village district?
Well, you don't really allow any commercial outside the village district.
We have a floating district, correct?
Yeah, I mean, so if you wanted to say that it's possible in the special development,
That I do think.
right?
Why?
Then they can land anywhere.
Yeah, but that has its own set of,
Yeah, but our town with the state forest, the way it is, we don't have really a centralized, all we have is the town, that's it,
Why
for
not
any
more?
kind of commercial endeavor.
Yeah, but isn't that special zone for industrial or like
Yeah.
that thing that's by me? Not commercial. You wouldn't want to open a can of worms of you like a Dollar General popping
No,
up in a neighborhood.
Correct, but we do, I mean, we have home businesses, I mean, where does that fall? For home business,
Too much
like-
traffic.
appointment only,
Who would enforce?
self-regulated. These are just, things that pop in my head real quick.
I think you should limit it to your proper commercial zones, but
so I'm sorry, Scott, are you suggesting that you would like this to be in the special development district also?
I don't see a reason not to. Given the circumstances of the town, of how the geographic is with everything.
so
That's
where's
just me personally.
This is just the retail, right?
where's the reg on that? There was something weird about that, right? Limited it to
500 feet, you feel like houses
large
down there.
things.
Yeah.
And state forest down there. We have accidents, so more than what we have now.
Where's that section?
The limited development district
Oh, this one.
is major development is section 7.
What about this overlay? Not the village commercial overlay,
No.
the other one.
Did you guys want to look at a map of that?
Major development district, that one.
Yeah, hold on, I can show it to you.
Direct access to a state highway or on a town road. Major retail and wholesale businesses. With that,
So your major development district currently is.
would a simple store, a retail count as a major retail or wholesale business? You might have to work with adding
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
language here to be able to do it. 10 acres,
Well, that's the thing. It's gotta be on 10 acres.
500 feet of frontage.
So that's what I mean. I don't see a problem with allowing that. I mean, it's gonna end up being a larger parcel of property.
But would
Kind
it
of out of
qualify as a
sight.
major retail? These are like shopping centers, furniture outlet, building supply. A small
cannabis and
dispensary,
that.
is, not a major retail.
It's interesting though, if you do that. Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. It's a large enough parcel.
Except you will, in theory, not that you're gonna get one up here, but in theory, you have a lot of
It would be a traffic generator though.
Right.
the people
It-
coming in
it's-
on
Which
one
would
thirty-eight from Rhode
hopefully-
Island and blah, blah, blah.
Hopefully generate revenue, which would generate taxes for the town.
You could do that with, just the cultivation. We don't have to do that with.
Yeah, retail, you know.
Heavy retail.
And you just get the taxes of a retail shop, but
Yes, then you don't have to worry about the excess traffic or. People, the accidents there.
I don't know
Just-
if it's
it's
in
just a
keeping with
thought.
that,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I lost track.
And again, you would, well, so you have currently one major development zone. So in theory, you create the possibility of landing it here on Pendleton Hill. But if someone wanted to create a new major development district, and then put a cannabis retailer there, that's a 2 public hearing cycle for you guys. First, to land the district, second, to apply the use. So you would have a lot of bites at the apple in terms of review of the potential impact.
If you were off a road like that, great, but if it's not. Not so great.
Mhm.
Well, again, but so major development it requires frontage on the state highway, right?
Or town road, I mean,
Or is it, oh, it's state highway or town road? Sorry.
or town road. Where the commission determines that the town road is adequate to handle traffic.
Hmm.
Flow from that particular proposal. I think
Well.
parcels in that,
Are there multiple parcels?
in the existing one, is that just one part?
I think it's just the one. I think it's 0800. Yeah. I think it's just the one.
Theory, you could, without spot zoning, if there were parcels around there that made sense, that could be a good location, but the lady, I guess the horse farm across the street decided to
Hmm.
not keep horses and do something different.
I'm not opposed to it.
You don't see it going into Voluntown, but
I don't
Yeah.
either.
Cost of the license is pretty, little.
Yeah, how much is the thing that was? That was pretty expensive. I mean,
Like 250,000,
Just for I think just for the application.
and that's not a guarantee. You sure that?
So we could make those, I have no objection to that, because I think it does give you the nature of the major development zone gives you a lot of oversight, and you're under no obligation to change anything.
Can you just review that language of the major development zone to see if it meets the intent? Because it doesn't seem like it does, but. I recommend a tweak to the use
Yeah,
of the purpose.
yeah, we can do that. Any other questions about how we drafted this?
There's that looks fine.
So we can, I mean, if you would like, I'll make those changes. You can take another look next month, and then if it looks generally okay, I would suggest you go ahead and schedule it maybe for a public hearing early in the new year.
January.
Yeah, don't do it around the holidays, we get a lot of criticism there.
yeah,
For
Something in January, February.
a controversial issue.
yeah.
And I mean, or you open it in January and anticipate having it open for more than a month. Certainly depending on public input.
In July, and everybody's on vacation. If they haven't happened before. Right. Correspondence, I got nothing. CEO report, Pete's not on, is he?
Yeah, he is.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how have you been?
Oh, it's been so exciting. So you guys are working on these regulations so hard and we got the interest rates going up and inflation everywhere and nobody's doing anything with building and construction, so. It's a good time to get it together for the next time we actually get a push on something.
Yeah.
So other than Brown Road, that's about the only real project going on.
What's on Brown Road?
That's that subdivision up there that
Yeah.
Zach Wood came in with.
Oh, I got that driveway detail. I gave it, I sent it to John. Sent it to, we wanted the conditions for that one we just approved.
Yeah, he, for some reason, he sent it to Juliet. right?
Yeah, you got it, then, right?
Yeah, I did.
You sent it to you?
Yeah, well, he was in the office that day, so he might have just remembered, like, I had asked for it. I mean,
But yeah, so we got it and it's incorporated into the plan.
Okay.
Sue, if
The
Sue's still there,
Mylars haven't come.
yeah, I don't know if he's submitted the final Mylars yet.
Yes, not.
Yeah, okay.
and to bring it, but I forgot.
Anything else? Make a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Uh,
Aye. Motion carries. Mhm.
All right, folks, thanks, Sue.
get it early next time.
Good night.
Good night, you guys.
Right.
Night.